Hi, this is Irma Francis. I just wanted to do another spontaneous video in response to a lot of the inquiries that have come in, and also to share a little bit more about my experiences. And I also wanted to share what my intentions are and, why am I sharing it all? And so this is just spontaneous. So even though I have a website, and that is something that I had been doing for many years, and really loved it and enjoyed it, I did take a break because of a family member having a health issue, and I really wanted to support them in that. And so I took a pretty long time off. But my intentions of going on Bat Gap wasn't to, build a business or, to collect clients and build a contact list. That wasn't my intention at all. So I'm still just following my intuition, and that's why I'm here doing this video today. As I've shared in many of my videos that I've already posted, I usually don't do much of anything unless there's an inspiration behind it and I'm inspired, which I am. And that's why I'm here. And to me, inspiration, being inspired, means to be in spirit. And I've always trusted that and continue to trust that. So, what is it that I would like to share? And what is my real focus? Excuse me. If I were to kind of sum up a main focus, that would be a non-conventional approach to spirituality and mysticism, because I do honestly believe that this is our birthright to be what I would call a natural mystic, and to tune into our intuition, tune into our innate wisdom, and trust that and follow that. And I don't think we can ever go wrong when we do that. So that's part of it. And being this natural mystic to me means to be in an undivided state of wholeness and a natural sovereignty. And I really believe that, if we do that, our life unfolds in an effortless way. I know this is true because I live it. And that doesn't mean, that somehow in my lifetime I've built up, great financial gain and lots of material toys and and all of that, because I haven't. I'm comfortable and with what I have, and I'm grateful for what I have. So that's part of what I wanted to share. And another piece of that would be to know that we were born worthy and have always been worthy, and we don't have to prove our worth in any way. And I think that can create a lot of separation within ourselves, not following our innate wisdom and our intuition, and just trusting that and following that. A lot of times, especially in the Western society, we feel like we somehow have to become something, and that who we are isn't enough already. And I'm not saying, not to have goals or, be creative and follow all your unique gifts. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, to do it from a place of already feeling worthy, to not seek for yourself in the outside world and seek your sense of worth in the outside world. And I also wanted to share about my experience at that young age of 8, and my ongoing experiences to me have all been reminders of what I understood at 8 years old. So kind of like a refresher, if I should ever kind of move away from that, these multidimensional experiences are reminders to guide me back. And something I was thinking about this morning was, in that experience at 8 years old, it's like, well, how can that happen to an 8-year-old? And how can an 8-year-old understand that? I think it can happen to an 8-year-old because we are born with innate wisdom and, an ability to understand a higher wisdom that we don't necessarily learn from the conditioning of the world. And, in that 8-year-old experience, there were some ingredients that allowed grace to come through. At least this is, reflecting back, this is how I perceive it at this moment in time, that some ingredients in that 8-year-old experience that allowed grace to come through was an open innocence, trusting and allowing, and that opened the door to grace. And so that open innocence, trusting and allowing isn't just the experience of a child. That can be our experience as adults as well, to open the door to grace. Open, innocence, trusting, and allowing. As adults, what we might have to do because of all the conditioning that gets put on top of that innate wisdom and that worthiness that is our birthright, we may have to allow ourselves to be guided to whatever tools and practices we need to return to that. So kind of an unconditioning. And in our world today, where there's so many distractions and so many, experts that we can turn to as the authority and as our guide, but I personally feel that guide is inside of us, and making that connection and trusting that and following that. So that's why, meditation is one tool and one practice, but to really quiet the mind, which, has been called the monkey mind, to quiet that, to get in touch with our innate wisdom, to get in touch with our birthright of worthiness. And so in a way, that quieting of the mind, the monkey mind is all the distractions and all the conditioning that we receive that we separate from our true self. But we can return to that. And to me, that's the whole purpose of being on a spiritual path, is to return to that. So I hope some of this is making sense. And I have received a lot of inquiries, a lot of responses, and I'm doing my best to keep up with all of that. And if possible, I will form, an intimate online group so we can dialogue with each other and support each other in coming together in finding ways to live up to our fullest potential as a human being. And to me, that doesn't necessarily mean the success as the way the Western world has defined it. To me, living up to my fullest potential is to live a life of peace and balance and presence. And of course, from that comes unconditional love. And, as we're all aware, we need to do something different than we've been doing as human beings. And it's nobody's fault. It really isn't. It's a lot of times a matter of ignorance and not knowing and getting lost. But, in the song Amazing Grace, I was lost, but now I'm found. Well, what was lost and what was found? That's maybe a good question to contemplate on if you're feeling, anxious or disturbed by all the distraction of what's going on in our world today. Our strength and our hope lies in grace. It lies within us. It truly does. And, for whatever reason, I had that experience at such a young age, and I had a commitment to keeping a connection to that and not allowing the world to define me, not allowing the world or people around me or whatever system I would find myself in to say, this is who you need to be, Irma, and this is what you need to be, Irma. Well, I already knew who I was and what I was. And I've trusted that. And I don't think that I'm anything special because I had that experience. I think that experience is available to all of us. It can be difficult if we're born into an environment where we don't feel safe, because that takes the, that openness, it contracts it if we don't feel safe. And, but there's always hope, and there's always finding a way to open ourselves up, trust ourselves, feel safe within ourselves. And so that's a little bit about what I wanted to share. And I also wanted to say if there's any topics or any questions or anything you would like me to talk about through my YouTube channel, I would be more than happy to do that. So that's about all I wanted to share. And I think I'm going to end this video going into the place that I consider to be the language of God, which is silence and stillness. Be still and know. Be still and know. Yeah. So I'm going to say goodbye verbally, and then I'm just going to wait for a few moments and sit in that silence and that stillness before I sign off. Have a wonderful day.